there are many manufacturers who are making toys. China is totally banned. So that particular business has come to India.
So you mentioned IPO, right? And I'm really hoping एक दिन आपका IPO आ जाए. But there are a lot of new startups.
I will ask you to look after my IPO process. अगर स्टार्टअप ने आके बोला कि मैं भी आपकी तरह प्लास्टिक यूनिट लगा रहा हूँ, कुछ चला रहा हूँ, 10 में से वापस एक ही पास होगा, 9 फेल हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस हैं. चीज उठाते हैं और उनको नंबर से मतलब है, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी से मतलब नहीं है. तो ये कंपनीज क्या होती है कि ये दिस कंपनीज आर अ थ्रेट एज अ कंपटीशन टू अस, बिकॉज उनको प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी से मतलब ही नहीं है. अभी सस्टेनेबिलिटी तो एक टॉपिक है बहुत बड़ा, जिसके अंदर में एवरीबडी हु इज नॉट नोइंग एनी सब्जेक्ट आल्सो दे विल, सर सस्टेनेबिलिटी है ना.
Hello, welcome to Vachit podcast. Vachit is a podcast where I bring you extraordinary stories of ordinary people and show you what success can look like in different industries. Today we have Mr. Anand Damani with us, who has been in the plastic manufacturing industry for the last 30 years. He's been managing a family business which has spanned across the last 50 years, which was started in 1971. So let's understand the plastic industry, his unique insights into building the business, sustainability and recycling in plastic. Hi, welcome to Vachit podcast, Anand sir. So let's start with a quick overview of the plastic industry in India.
Plastic industry is growing at the speed of around 15% a minimum year on year, and the same we are also finding it at the same space. Minimum 15% growth is always there from year to year.
So, if we look at Sarvottam Polymers, right? Business has been around for the last 50 years. You've been in this for the last 30 years. So let's start from the beginning actually. How did Sarvottam Polymers start?
We are into the plastic industry for the last 50 years, started by my father. And in 1996, we started with a company called as Sarvottam Polymers Private Limited. Earlier, it was in the name of thermoplastic and phenolic molders. And we thought we should have a private limited company. So we started with Sarvottam Polymers Private Limited. And 1993, I joined my business. So it's going on like it's a family run business. My father is there. My brother has joined in 2000. So he takes care of the marketing, sales. Now the third generation, my son also has joined, Anuj. So it's like he's joined for the last 3.5, 4 years plus.
Nice. So initially, when it was not Sarvottam, so what were the products that you were making or what were the services that you were providing?
We were always into blow molding machinery, but we were having very old type machines like your manual blow molding machines. It used to be where the productions used to be very low. Say if you just compare it, you were producing earlier only 1500 pieces a day. Today we can produce around 25,000 pieces a day. So that's the difference which has come in with the new technology, new machinery, all that which has changed over the time. So it is always difficult to buy the first machine followed by other machines.
So what's the kind of investment needed to buy a molding machine?
Blow molding machines generally are in the range of around 12 lakhs to 45 to 50 lakh rupees. And it's not only blow molding. So it's like blow molding, injection blow, pet blow. So there are different variety of machines. So we got all four of the concepts.
So when Sarvottam Polymers started, what were the few things that you started with? What was the kind of packaging materials that you were making?
We were into blow molding, making bottles used for your FMCG packaging, and multinationals, they can just fill their product. That is we provide packaging solutions. So we provide the bottles, they fill their product, and it is easy to market, and they sell their product. This is the way how it goes.
So early 2000s business start हुआ था आपका, and now it's been around for 23-24 years. तो आपको क्या लगता है क्या change हुआ in the industry, how you guys worked, right? Like 2000s versus now, I'm sure बहुत सारी नई technology आ गई है इसमें. तो what has changed?
The speed at which you have to deliver. You have people Today it is a jet, literally a jet speed. We have to supply the material. We are committed. You have to deliver. You have to give better products with zero NCs. Means the customer says you will be rated as a star supplier, whereby we want to fill your product straight away from your supplies straight to the line. So we have to match as per that particular thing. There should be no level of rejections. The things have to be worked on that level. So this is one of the major changes, and definitely it's cost competitive because there are a lot of players who have come in. So it's not that key you can just straight away give whatever the rates or whatever the way how you want to. It is always the buyer who is an important person, where we have to understand their needs, their requirements. You have to be always innovative. How you can make it beneficial to the client, why he needs to buy the material from me. There should be some USP within you. What is the reasons why he's going to come to me to buy it?
Yeah.
So you have to be always innovative.
So आपने innovation mention किया, right? And any industry or any business, if you have to go ahead, innovation is the foot forward basically. तो आप बता सकते कि last 20 years में, what are some of the key innovations that you have done?
We have gone with a technology called as in-label molding, which was earlier not there. In-label technology is whereby what happens is you deliver the product along with the labels fixed on the bottle. You cannot peel off, you cannot duplicate it so easily. And what happens is when you produce the bottle, the label gets fixed on the bottle itself at the time of production of the bottle. So this saves the double activity of putting the labels, applying the labels later on, which is not required in this type of process. So this is one of the technology which we are doing it, and it becomes difficult for people to make them understand this concept, because it's a thing which people generally don't digest ki by we can go for this particular technology. So this is something which is in label molding is something a good revolutionary thing. If people go for it, it's great.
So help us understand the entire process of making one bottle. Like उसका पूरा supply chain. एक bottle बनाने का supply chain क्या है from start to end?
सप्लाई चेन स्टार्ट फर्स्ट ये होता है कि लाइक सबसे पहले आपको एक ऑर्डर की दरकार है, जो हर एक बिजनेसमैन को चाहिए कि एक अच्छा ऑर्डर मिल जाए. इफ यू गेट अ गुड ऑर्डर, then the thing is that ki like are they going for our existing molds or they are going for new molds. सपोज एग्जिस्टिंग मोल्ड से जा रहे हैं तो मोल्ड का स्ट्रक्चर, मोल्ड्स हमारे पास काफ़ी सारे बने हुए हैं जो उनके प्रोडक्ट को सूट करते हैं. उसके बाद में जंस आपका कंप्लीट हो गया, कमर्शियल एक्टिविटीज सारी कंप्लीट हो गई. उसके बाद में वी प्लान द बॉटल का प्रोडक्शन. In the bottle production, we plan how the process is going to happen, like what are the add-ons we have to do it on the bottle. Like if you want to go for a stickering, screen printing, pad printing, label insertion, or the label insertion thing will be done by the client himself. So we plan the bottle manufacturing, we schedule it. There is a raw material recipe and the specifications which needs to be freezed first before the productions happen. So once the specifications are freezed, these are the dimensions at which the bottles are going to be produced, and it meets the customer needs. Then the bottle production happens. It's a blow molding process whereby raw material, which is it comes in the form of granules, plastic granules, polyethylene. It gets extruded, melted at a set temperature, and it passes through the mold. Once it passes through the mold, through air, we blow it, and finally you get the final product. It's packed properly. The add-ons like screen printing or whatever which needs to be done, we do it on it, and the product is ready to get shipped. The customer has just to fill their product and market sale. This is the way how we do it for the blow molding. Similarly, for the cap closures, there's a process called as injection molding. So there we are making the caps and closures, and the same process, the raw material is heated, melted, molded into the article of the injection mold, and you get the final product. And as a set, the bottle and the cap goes to the customer separately. They fill their product and it's ready to market.
So the first step is obviously, after you get a order, like planning the raw materials and everything. तो थोड़ा raw materials के बारे में बात करते हैं, like how does it work, different types of raw materials, sourcing it from India versus sourcing it from China, like how exactly it works, and what are the challenges that you face with sourcing raw materials?
Raw material sourcing is not a challenge nowadays because there are a lot of manufacturers which have come into for supplying the grades, and the raw material selection is all depends upon the client's requirement. So it's readily available. That is not a problem. Sometimes when the raw material prices go up and companies create scarcity to create a demand in the market, that happens sometimes. Say 1.5 2 years, there is a gap of around 1.5 2 months. But this type of scenario happens when there is a plant shutdown or something like that, or a strike or something. Otherwise, raw material availability is not an issue. We are able to source out the raw materials.
Okay. So if we talked about bottles, right? But under Sarvottam, what are the other businesses? Like, what are other verticals?
So okay, we are having five verticals. Vertical one is the blow molding, which we are catering to the cosmetic and the FMCG sectors. Second is the toys, what we are making. The toys are basically uh, the children who are of the age of around 3 to 5 years or 6 years. That category age group, we are catering the toys. The third segment is your fridge bottle, which every people who are traveling, they need a plastic bottle to carry water from their homes. So that is the category what we are making. That is a fridge bottle, we call it. The fourth one is the household items. The household items are the items like your general daily product which you all are using, like your baskets, your supris, your hangers, and some other boxes. These come into the household category. And the fifth category is the ones which earlier people used to import from China. And now what we have done is we have made counter for those particular products. And that is again which is coming in the market as a household product only. Instead of the imports, like locally, it is well made and well supplied.
Yeah. So the cosmetic, FMCG, toys, household supplies, सबसे ज़्यादा margin किस में होता है?
This you are asking a wrong question. Anyway, it's like it's always a household which is considered better.
Okay.
Toys are also good. Cosmetics are also very good because everywhere it is somewhere it is more, somewhere it is less. It depends upon customer to customer.
Okay.
And also upon the quantities what we supply. It's the prices are all reasonably, means it's a manufacturing concern. You have to take out some minimum manufacturing expenses which are generally, as you know, labor cost has gone up tremendously. We have to follow government protocols by all the PF and all the regulations, so the cost has definitely gone up. So one has to work with a minimum margin, otherwise you will not stay in the industry.
Yeah. So two big things you highlighted: labor problems and government protocol. So let's talk about that. First, government protocol. So what are some of the problems that you face and you wished things were better for you, better regulations which are in your favor, and also of course to run a better business. What do you think can be changed?
See, plastic industry is a continuous process where we do not have a break, because when you start a plastic machinery, it is like a 24-hour process, which generally it becomes difficult for us to make understand the people, the government officials, that it's a continuous process. Now, since the government is going with all digitalization and everything, there is no scope whereby we can eliminate any of the shortcuts for the labor people. We also don't encourage it. We are also in the process of regularization each and every stage of the requirement by the governments. But there are times when what happens is there are some products, there are some areas where we do not get increase in the costs. So what happens when you don't get increase in the cost and you have to run the show? So you will be trying to take out somewhere, somehow to run the show. That's the challenges what we are generally facing. There is a definitely shortage of good skilled labor, and there is a lot of turnout of people nowadays because of many options available due to digital, due to lot of the areas where they have got different options to work on.
So, two things here. One is the labor side problem, and another is skill based problem. One is the labor that you would require on the plant. Another is actually people you would also require, for designing things like that. So, one is what are the major problems with finding good laborers?
It's not only the labor, it's also the staff also, because it's a combination of labor
Yeah.
and staff both. The major difficulties is like there are a lot of options which are right now available. 20 years back, what happened, there was a turnout of people of in the range of around 4 to 5 years. You could have easily kept your person, and you would be mental peace that okay, the person is going to work for you for 4 to 5 years. But today that's not the case. 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years, if you just see the resumes which come to for joining, there are so many people who have joined in the range of around 2 years, 1.5 year, 3 years, 1.5 year. The person who's going to work for 1.5 year, just imagine first 3 months to 4 months just goes a waste.
Yeah.
Just learning, understanding the company, be understanding the employee. So that way, that is a challenge. Not my industry, lot of industries.
And on the labor side, because see, on one side we keep hearing, and of course we are, I mean, no one's getting a job. Okay, if unfortunately they could not, pursue higher education or for whatever reasons, financial reasons or whatever, but there is still something which can be an acquired skill, like working at a plant probably, which maybe does not require some roles would not require a professional education. But then we hear that okay, these many people are out of jobs or out looking for jobs, and on the other side we have insights from you, like we are not getting people to work for us in plants and all. So what do you think is the problem, and how can we solve this on a larger scale?
See, everybody has got a big requirement. They don't mind having one roti less, but they want a mobile. Okay. So the personal aspiration of a labor or a staff has gone up. So the requirement is more. They want a better lifestyle. People don't want to work today. They don't want to work to that level. They do not want to put that particular level of efforts what is required. The labor who comes, he just is interested to complete that 8 hours of duty. He's not interested whether what is producing and what is not producing. You have to keep on explaining them the importance of your role in the particular activity what you're doing. But many a times it all goes vain. But what the way how it is going on. So you have to go for automation, you have to go for SOPs, you have to go for some standard operating procedures whereby people have to follow those procedures only, so that you get the right thing, whatever is the best from the best whatever is available.
Yeah. So do you think ये real money gaming के जो apps है, like Dream 11 and all rummy circles and all, तो क्या ये भी एक problem है? Like you can get instant gratification there if you win. You put in some money, you'll win.
There may be,
But in the long term, it's not
but
sustainable.
I'll tell you one thing. This all for the labor class. I don't think so much of it, because they are still not to that level that कि वो लोग ये सब करते होंगे 2-5% here and there लोग करते होंगे. I cannot comment.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't think so कि वो level पे चल रहा है.
Hmm.
क्योंकि if you just get 2,000 rupees extra, the worker will shift from my factory to the other factory. So the costs have gone up. It's not that we alone. The costs have gone from for their living also. So even they want some better living. Even they want something extra. So that is the reason why they keep on jumping and hopping.
So we know labor is a big problem, and upskilling karna ही होगा. If you want to improve your lifestyle, you need to improve your income. So what are some things that you are also doing, from your end to help them upskill, and what can they do from their side?
Upscaling can we give them better job opportunities, which earlier if they were at a junior level, we are trying to ask them to join in the next senior level, some upgradation of their different activities. Now if I want to upgrade them with respect to particular levels, if we have to increase it, so what we generally do is we will say okay fine, you take one this additional responsibility, you take this particular activity on hand, so I can consider a salary hike or whatever. Apart from that, a lot of things like people also want a good atmosphere to work. It's not only the money, it's always also the atmosphere to work, the place where they are working. It has to be really exciting for them. So what we have been trying to do is we have been trying to host picnics, we have been trying to host some programs. Then we have tried to motivate them by giving sometimes incentives with respect to your gifts and all that. And we are moving ahead by bringing out some more options. Earlier we were lacking with lot of things. Now gradually we are stepping one after the other. Everything cannot come in one day, but hopefully in the next 2 3 years time we will be having a better things to offer to the employees.
So now I want to talk about people who, back office and everything. If I want to get started in this industry, say not my own business, I want to work for a company like Sarvottam. What are the areas, that I can enter, like say engineering, design? So what are the skills that you are looking for?
We've got a lot of activities in our every in a plastic industry. We need designing, we need follow-ups, we need supervisors, we need follow-up people. Accounts definitely is, every company needs it. Marketing staff to get new orders. So there are a lot of areas where this thing, the job opportunities can be worked out in any of the areas whichever I'm speaking out. So it's not specific कि भाई designing ही required or this is only required. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
Okay. And in terms of technical skills, what would that be?
Technical skills के अंदर में like see, one is your experience and the second is basically the an engineer or a QC quality for plastic industry. We need people from the quality background who have done the plastic technologist or something which is related to that particular industry. Those people are workable for us. And we generally try to work out, we promote people who are looking after quality, and we promote them into the marketing sector if they are interested.
Yeah.
Because it becomes very easy for the market to market a product if you know the background of the product. And to know the background of the product, if a person has got a quality ka background, that is the best combination till date we have observed.
Okay. And what are the entry level salaries for these specific technical skills you mentioned, right? Like plastic technologist, designing for specific plastic materials.
In today's time, there is no specific as a entry barrier rates. It's basically what, when we interview the guy, we ask him what is the level at what you want to join in. So it is generally close by to whatever they are demanding. Because really speaking, there is a scarcity of really good people.
Yeah.
You'll not believe it. There is a continuous interviewing of people of almost like 10 to 15 people a month, because there are always 3 to 4 resignations lined up. So you have to keep on inquiring what is possible, what is how to get people on board. So it is the people get on board through references, through naukri.com and all these places. So that is on.
Yeah. So apart from FMCG, consumer care, you mentioned toys. So मेरे को थोड़ा toys industry के बारे में insights चाहिए. Like how does it work in India and how has it evolved? I think especially post COVID because the India-China conflict happened. So what is it like now?
Now what has happened is कि India was not making toys at all, and we lacked making good toys. So we were getting cheap stuff from China. And China used to dump a lot of material to Indian market. So it so happened that the government of India found out that this gap, and they introduced BIS. As soon as the BIS was introduced, immediately all Chinese material, whatever was coming in, had to be stopped because it has to be as per the Indian standard, Bureau of Indian Standard for the BIS cutting. So now it was not possible for them to dump the material. That was point one. Then they put an extra duty, custom duty on the toys. So it became unviable for them to get it in India. So now the thing is that after looking at this, lot of Indian industry who are into plastics, they said, let us make toys. So there are, now you can say there are many manufacturers who are making toys. China is totally banned. So that particular business has come to India. to a greater extent. No doubt, we cannot match that level of quality and innovation what Chinese give. But okay, we are slowly upgrading. You can say we have achieved around 70 to 80% with respect to the supplies and the demand and the supplies and the productions. But it will improve still. So it is a good opportunity for toys to be made in India, and this helps the Indian industry also and the plastic consumption also.
Now coming on to the B2B side, wherein you supply to all the big players. So what's that process like? Creating your own products versus supplying it to B2B.
See, we have got like the cosmetic section bottles. What we have got around 250 to 350 designs, which are readily available, and where you can just label a product and market a thing. So there you save the time on developing of a mold, dyes. You don't spend money on the mold and dyes, and there is a quick whereby quickly you can market your product in the market. Big MNC companies, big means really big MNC companies, have started working on these lines. What happens is when they want to launch a product, they will look out for ready-made options so that they save time on the mold investment, mold making, mold tooling, the the time taken for developing each and every activity. So what they do is they will introduce their new product with our packaging, with some modifications with respect to colors and other designs. And once that is marketed, they will test market say 15,000, 25,000 pieces. And if they find that the product gets clicked, they will continue. If it doesn't click, they will scrap it off. So there what happens, the risk factor of these companies goes to a very zero level. By 25,000 pieces supplying, they will test market the product and their capability, whether this product is going to work well or it is going to die. So this is the way how our stock molds help us and help the customers also to analyze whether the product will go good or bad.
तो अभी हमने बात की कि टॉयज एंड ऑल का भी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडिया में ही शिफ्ट हो गया है चाइना से, बट देर आर एनी अदर कंट्रीज विच आर ऑल्सो अप एंड कमिंग एंड competition to India in this?
Maybe Vietnam is doing good. फिर आपका ये बांग्लादेश में भी काफी सारे इंडस्ट्रीज प्लास्टिक है, वहाँ पे लेबर इज लिटिल चीपर, तो दे आर आल्सो डूइंग अ गुड अमाउंट ऑफ वर्क. And with the China ka thing, everybody has got an opportunity to work on these lines.
So let's talk a bit about research and innovation. Any business agar aage badhana hai to you constantly have to keep innovating. Tell me about some of the research and innovation projects that you pick up. One which worked out very well, उससे काफी business आया आपको, and एक दो ऐसे projects जो आपने बहुत try किया but नहीं हुआ उससे कुछ, no business outcome.
There are a lot of projects, ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट आते हैं जिसके अंदर में आप ये नहीं सोचो कि हर समय आपके सब प्रोजेक्ट्स पास होते हैं. एंड कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स वर्क अच्छे करते हैं, कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स नहीं अच्छे करते हैं. तो जैसे अभी हमने एक पंप का प्रोजेक्ट डाला था, तो इट वाज अ ह्यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट, बट उतना क्लिक नहीं हुआ जितना हमने एक्सपेक्ट किया था, क्योंकि मार्केट फोर्सेस के हिसाब से वो प्रोडक्ट के अंदर में मार्केट में थोड़ा आपको चीपर रेट्स में भी वो आइटम मिल रही है. सो वी कैन नॉट कॉम्पीट एंड गो टू दैट लेवल ऑफ प्राइसेस. तो इसके लिए उतनी डिमांड क्रिएट नहीं हुई जितनी होनी चाहिए थी. तो ये बोल सकता हूँ कि भाई अगर मैं ये नहीं करता तो ठीक था, बट ठीक है, एनीवे वी आर वर्किंग ऑन इट, ट्राइंग टू वर्क कि कैसे बेस्ट और हो सकता है. और प्लस ऐसे बहुत सारे कुछ आइटम्स होते हैं, हम लोगों का बहुत इन्वेस्टमेंट हो जाता है मोल्ड्स में. मोल्ड्स एंड डाइज एंड टूलिंग कॉस्ट आर वेरी हाई. सो मेनी अ टाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस इज, कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट को अपन हाथ लगा यूज इम्प्लीमेंट करने को जाते हैं, तो the budget is approximately in the range of around 20 lakhs, say 1 crore rupees. It's a normal thing. And you do not know the outcome कि ये 20 लाख या 1 करोड़ रुपया लगाने के बाद में इसके रिटर्न्स कैसे बैठेंगे, क्या होगा. 10 में से आपके 4, 5, 6 आपके अच्छे चलते हैं, 2-3 मीडियम में चलते हैं, 1-2 फेल भी हो जाते हैं कि डिजास्टर हो जाता है कि ये नहीं चलने वाला है. तो वो पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ द बिजनेस है. दैट इज ओके.
सो एक तो ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स है जिसकी डिमांड है बट फिर कंपटीशन सस्ते में दे रहा है तो आप वहां तो compete ही नहीं कर सकते, बट ऐसे कोई इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट्स जो आपका यूनिक डिजाइन है, आपकी यूनिक टेक्नोलॉजी है, बट उसका डिमांड नहीं है, बट इट्स अ वेरी यूजफुल थिंग, कैन बी अ गेम चेंजर, तो उसके लिए डिमांड कैसे जनरेट कर सकते हैं?
बेसिकली आपको कस्टमर को ही आपको कन्विंस करना है कि द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट। कस्टमर तभी लेगा जब उसको समझ में आएगा कि ये प्रोडक्ट उसके लिए बेनिफिशियल है क्या, विद रिस्पेक्ट टू यूजेबिलिटी, विद रिस्पेक्ट टू प्राइसिंग, विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द फंक्शनैलिटी ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट। अगर उसको समझ में आएगा तो ही लेगा, और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है आपके पास, तो आपको वेट ही करना है।
योर कस्टमर इज योर किंग।
दैट एवरीवेयर, कौन सी जगह पे ऐसा होता नहीं है कि कस्टमर किंग नहीं होता, कस्टमर इज ऑलवेज राइट, ये समझ के चलना चाहिए। यू शुड नॉट आर्ग्यू विद द कस्टमर, ठीक है।
So, how do you negotiate with this big businesses? What does it look like? Give a view to, outsider in this industry.
देखिए, नेगोशिएट के अंदर में ऐसा है कि एवरी कस्टमर थिंक्स दैट कि भाई ये मेरे से बहुत ज़्यादा ले रहा है,
Hmm.
और एवरी सप्लायर को लगता है कि नहीं थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा मिल जाए। ये प्रोसेस तो है ही है, बट एक फिर भी एक हेल्दी मार्जिन पकड़ के चलना पड़ता है कि आज एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट चला रहे हैं, आप गारंटी नहीं कर सकते हो कि आपने 10,000 पीसेस कैलकुलेट किया है आपकी कॉस्टिंग के अंदर में, तो आपको 10 के सामने 10 ही मिलेगा। कभी 8.5 भी मिल सकता है, कभी 9 भी मिल सकता है, रेयरली आपको 10 मिलेगा। तो आपकी कॉस्टिंग हेवा हो जाती है, तो आपको थोड़ा उसको पकड़ के ही चलना पड़ता है। तो इसके लिए आप ये गारंटी नहीं दे सकते हो कि भाई क्या, ये चैलेंज तो है ही है कि आपका रेट नेगोशिएट करने के लिए एवरी बायर हु इज बाइंग फ्रॉम यू, ही विल ट्राई टू गेट द बेस्ट डील आउट ऑफ इट, कि भाई मुझे कंपनी के लिए बेस्ट डील लेना है, लेकिन मैं एक मिनिमम मार्जिन नहीं पकड़ के चलूंगा, मेरी कॉस्टिंग्स को नहीं पकड़ के चलूंगा, तो वो भी मेरे लिए वायबल नहीं है। तो इट ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन कि किस तरीके से, उस तरह से किस तरह से आप नेगोशिएट होता है आपका प्रोडक्ट का कॉस्ट, एंड फिर सेट होता है।
Yeah. तो बड़ी कंपनीज ऑब्वियसली उनका भी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी देखेगी, फाइनल प्रोडक्ट पे कितना उनका मार्जिन निकल के आ रहा है, तो दे विल ऑलवेज ट्राई टू ब्रेक द
नो, देयर आर सेट कॉस्ट शीट्स फॉर ऑल कंपनीज,
ओके,
कि भाई मेरा ये कॉस्ट मॉड्यूल के अंदर में ये कॉस्ट आ रही है, ये इतना प्रॉफिट मार्जिन देना है, ये इसका पैक ऑन है, ये इसके एड ऑन्स है। वो एक फॉर्मेट एक बना हुआ है, फॉर्मेट में आप डिटेल डालो, कॉस्ट नीचे आ जाता है। वो आने के बाद में भी फिर नेगोशिएट करते हैं, भाई ये तो ठीक है कॉस्ट शीट के हिसाब से आया है, लेकिन अभी बताओ उसमें और कम क्या कर सकते हो, तो फिर कॉस्ट शीट लेने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है। लेकिन हर एक कंपनी को एक कॉस्ट शीट चाहिए, गिव मी द ब्रेकअप, व्हाई, हाउ, सो यू हैव टू कन्विंस देम कि भाई एट व्हाट लेवल इट इज, मतलब व्हाट लेवल तक हम जा सकते हैं सप्लाई करने के लिए।
तो एक बॉटल बनाने का कॉस्ट शीट लेते हैं, उसमें क्या क्या डिटेल्स होते हैं?
एक बॉटल बनाने की कॉस्ट शीट के अंदर में फॉर एग्जांपल एक रॉ मटेरियल का एक कंटेंट रहता है। रॉ मटेरियल जब आप बनाते हो आपको 100% आपको रिटर्न नहीं आता है, तो देयर इज अ वेस्टेज एलिमेंट टू इट। उसके बाद में देयर इज अ लेबर एलिमेंट कि भाई उसको बनाने के लिए कितना मैन पावर लगेगा। उसके बाद में आपकी पैकिंग कॉस्ट आती है। उसके बाद में एड ऑन्स की तरह, जैसे अगर स्टिकर कोई लग रही है या स्टिकर कॉस्ट लग रही है, तो वो ऐड होता है। स्टिकर लगाने के लिए एक कॉस्ट लगती है। ये सब एड ऑन्स होने के बाद में एक प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज मार्जिन आ जाता है। प्रॉफिट मार्जिन इज बेसिकली इन द रेंज ऑफ अराउंड 8 to 15%, 20% डिपेंड्स अपॉन द वॉल्यूम्स। उसके बेसिस के ऊपर आपका एक एक्स प्राइस क्रिएट होता है कि ये प्राइस पे आपको देनी है।
इसमें ये कंपोनेंट्स में सबसे ज्यादा आपका कॉस्ट कहाँ पे जाता है?
आरएम, raw material.
Raw materials. So how does raw material sourcing work? Like there will be some fixed products जो आपको पता है ये तो बनाने ही है, but new research and innovation भी होगा। तो raw materials like sourcing it from Indian manufacturer, sourcing it from China or Bangladesh या
No,
Vietnam.
raw material is 95% is from India only. 5% is from any outside countries. जो अगर कोई specific है, कुछ है, कभी कभी imported grades काफी आ जाते हैं, तब वो material वहां से।
तो हम import कौन सा करते हैं raw materials?
Raw material, plastic granules.
Okay. And what are the different types of raw materials that you require?
मतलब raw material is polypropylene and polyethylene. Polyethylene के अंदर में HDP आ गया, LLDP आ गया, ऐसे अलग अलग ग्रेड्स होते हैं। पॉलीपॉपलिन के अंदर भी अलग अलग ग्रेड्स है, रैंडम हुआ, PPCP हुआ, तो ऐसे डिफरेंट डिफरेंट देयर आर सब सब कैटेगरीज। और हर कैटेगरी का एक इम्पोर्टेंस है कि उसको एप्लीकेशन में कौन सी जगह पर, यू नीड ट्रांसपेरेंसी, यू हैव टू यूज अ पर्टिकुलर ग्रेड, यू नीड रिजिडिटी, यू हैव टू यूज अ पर्टिकुलर ग्रेड, यू नीड सॉफ्टनेस, यू हैव टू यूज अ पर्टिकुलर ग्रेड. सो ये अलग अलग ग्रेड्स प्रोडक्ट के सिलेक्शन के बेसिस के ऊपर अपन सेलेक्ट करके फिर अपन उसके प्रोडक्शन में लेते हैं.
तो you've made bottles for FMCGs, you also make different kinds of products for supermarts. थोड़ी insights दीजिए ना, how is it different, like bulk manufacturing for supermarts?
सुपरमार्ट्स के अंदर में क्या रहता है कि लाइक डेफिनेटली पैकेजिंग इज कंसिडर्ड वन ऑफ द बेस्ट. मींस इफ यू डू पैकेजिंग you can do anything because packaging के अंदर it all depends upon the dimensions and everything. Household के अंदर में dimensions are not very particular. It is the aesthetic, the looks, and means the product का value addition आना चाहिए कि the performance कैसा आ रहा है. So उस तरीके से वो different रहता है.
Yeah. So how do these supermarts evaluate कि whatever products, household products या other products, how are they working? वो कौन से ऐसे parameters check करते हैं? Sales obviously, but then उसका भी process होगा ना कि ये shelf पे रखते हैं. How does all of that work?
उनके अलग अलग तरीके के स्कीम्स रहते हैं. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल कभी कभी कोई कोई प्रोडक्ट वो लोग लेते हैं कि भाई ये मेरे को प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द मंथ करना है. तो वो आपको इस तरीके से आप जैसे स्टोर में एंटर करेंगे तो ऐसी जगह पे रखते हैं कि आपका सीधा आई कैची होता है. तो वो एक अलग लेवल पे चलता है वो पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ प्रोडक्ट. और जो दूसरे प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं जिसके अंदर में आपके रेगुलर जो आइटम्स होते हैं वो एक इस तरह से स्मार्टली रखते हैं जो एक सुपर स्टोर रखता है कि द फ्लो के अंदर सेट करता है कि एक वुमेन जो बाय करने को जा रही है अपना प्रोडक्ट वो किस फ्लो में चलती है, वो माइंड गेम पूरा वो लोग स्टडी करते हैं और उसके बेसिस के ऊपर पूरा लेआउट लगता है एक स्टोर का.
So when you are also designing these products, right? आप user research करते हो इसके लिए?
करते हैं ना.
तो what is that process like?
प्रोसेस के अंदर क्या रहता है कि द बेस्ट वे टू सेलेक्ट गेट अ कलर सेलेक्टेड और अ प्रोडक्ट सेलेक्टेड इज टू डू अ मार्केट सर्वे विद ऑल द वुमेन्स एंड द यंग लेडीज. शो द प्रोडक्ट टू देम कि भाई ये प्रोडक्ट देखो अपन बना रहे हैं. विल यू बाय एट दिस पर्टिकुलर प्राइस? डू यू थिंक दैट दिस इज द गुड लुक ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट? डू यू थिंक दैट द कलर इज गुड? सो वंस दे से ओके फाइन, वी गेट अ गुड वोटिंग फॉर दैट. उस वोटिंग से एक आइडिया आ जाती है कि भाई ये हम राइट डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं कि रॉन्ग डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं. अगर हमको लग रहा है कि भाई ये 10 में से 9 जनों ने इसको यस किया है, मतलब कलर भी ओके किया है, डिजाइन भी ओके करी है, प्राइस भी ठीक लग रहा है उनको बाय करने के लिए, बिकॉज इट इज द वुमेन हु इज गोइंग टू बाय द प्रोडक्ट अ हाउस होल्ड फॉर अ हाउस होल्ड. एंड अल्टीमेटली अपने जितने भी जो प्रोडक्ट्स अपन बनाते हैं एंड में तो वो हाउस होल्ड में ही जाता है, घर में ही जाता है. कोई भी प्रोडक्ट अपन बनाते हैं. So there, with that way we come to a criteria. Then the same process, the customer also does the same process in his office. वो भी वही तरह का evaluation pattern follow करता है. फिर उसके बाद में कैसा रहता है कि कभी कभी सुपरमार्केट्स के अंदर में वो लोग टेस्ट मार्केटिंग करते हैं कि भाई एक छोटा लॉट निकालो, वी विल टेस्ट मार्केट की प्रोडक्ट कैसा चल रहा है. अगर लग रहा है कि प्रोडक्ट अच्छा चल रहा है तो दे विल स्केल अप. अगर लग रहा है कि प्रोडक्ट में दम नहीं है तो इट विल बी बैक टू जीरो.
तो क्या आप कभी जाते हो ऐसे सुपरमार्केट्स देखने की आपके प्रोडक्ट्स बनाए
100% देखने जाते हैं. देखने को ये भी जाते हैं कि भाई अपना जो सप्लाई गई है वो इट हैज गॉन एज पर वट एवर वी हैव सप्लाइड, वट एवर वी हैव इंटेंडेड टू. तो अगर उसमें से हमको कभी कभी कोई फॉल्ट भी मिलती है, कुछ समझ में आता है कि नहीं यार ये और बेटर जा सकता था, तो प्रोडक्ट को मैं बाय करके फिर मैं मेरे स्टाफ को या मेरे क्यूसी डिपार्टमेंट को दिखाता हूँ कि भैया ये ऐसे नहीं, ऐसे होना चाहिए, ये इम्प्रूव करो. सो दैट वी वर्क ऑन दैट कि भाई उसको और इम्प्रूवमेंट कैसे कर सकते हैं. क्योंकि आप अगर इम्प्रूवमेंट नहीं करोगे, सोचोगे कि भाई वट एवर आई हैव सप्लाइड इज द बेस्ट, ऐसा नहीं होता है. आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करोगे, थोड़ा बहुत 19-20 आता है, थोड़ा बहुत प्लस माइनस होता है, वो होता है. तो यू हैव टू कीप ऑन giving a check, keep on improving. That all is a part of the process.
So we talked, enough about like plastic industry, how is the business operating. What I want to now, discuss with you is कि ये 50 years से आप ये family business चला रहे हो. It's a huge achievement because now 3 generations are involved in this. So tell me about your dad's leadership style, your leadership style, and why do you think, this business has been successful for the last 50 years?
See, daddy started in 71. 71 से लेके 93 तक he was doing it on his own. जो वो कर रहे थे, उनको जो सही लग रहा था वो उसके हिसाब से वो चला रहे थे. उसमें कहीं पे ये नहीं था कि भाई कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं था कि भाई राइट कर रहे थे तो भी वो उनका कॉल था, अगर गलत हो भी रहा था तो भी उनका ही कॉल था। तो देयर वाज अ फ्लो कि भाई आप अपने हिसाब से चला रहे थे। देन आई एंटर्ड हिम, सो देयर वाज एन ऑप्शन कि भाई टू क्वेश्चन कि भाई ये अपन कर सकते हैं कि नहीं कर सकते हैं, करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए। तो आपके डिसीजंस को एक सपोर्ट मिलता है कि वेदर दैट डिसीजन इज राइट और रॉन्ग। ग्रेजुअली आफ्टर 5-7 years माय ब्रदर जॉइंड मी, तो हमारे फिर 3 के डिसीजंस होने शुरू हो गए। 3 में ये प्लस पॉइंट होने लग गया कि 3 के अंदर में 2 का डिसीजन अगर यस है तो तीसरा उसको सपोर्ट करके हाँ बोल देता था, और 2 का अगर नो होता था तो पहले वाला जिसने यस किया है उसको फॉलो करना पड़ता था कि ना है तो नहीं करते हैं। तो इट यूज्ड टू बी अ गुड हेल्प, इट यूज्ड टू बी दैट साइनर्जी। अब इसमें कैसा है कि लाइक आई टेक केयर ऑफ द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, देन अकाउंट्स एंड ऑल दो स्टफ, माय ब्रदर टेक्स केयर ऑफ द सेल्स मार्केटिंग। तो मैं मेरी एरिया के अंदर में, मुझे मेरी एरिया में आई एंजॉय, उसकी एरिया में वो ही एंजॉयज। तो रूटीन के अंदर में सब अपनी अपनी एरियाज पकड़ के चल रहे हैं, तो फैमिली बिजनेस जो है वो अपने हिसाब से रन कर रहा है। डेफिनेटली ऐसा नहीं है कि डिफरेंसेस नहीं आते हैं, डिफरेंसेस आते हैं, बट ठीक है वो, आप अगर ब्रॉड वे में अगर आप सोचोगे तो आपको ब्रॉड वे के अंदर में आपको कुछ चीजें इग्नोर करनी पड़ेगी, कुछ चीजें छोड़नी पड़ेगी, तो चलता है, नहीं तो नहीं चलेगा।
सबसे ज्यादा डिफरेंसेस कौन से एरियाज में आते हैं?
डिफरेंसेस थॉट प्रोसेस में आते हैं, वेदर वी शुड गो और वी शुड नॉट गो, वहां पे डिफरेंसेस आते हैं। तो वो सॉल्व कैसे हो सकता है कि आइदर, मेरा सिंपल फिलोसफी है, आइदर यू कन्विंस मी और यू गेट कन्विंस्ड। अगर तुम मुझे कन्विंस कर सकते हो कि ये चीज करनी है, आई विल गो अहेड विद इट। कुछ जगह पे अगर मुझे नहीं समझ में आता, एंड में मैं ये बोलता हूँ ठीक है तुमको समझ में आ रहा है, चलो गो अहेड, विल सी। 10 में से 8 पास होते हैं, 2 फेल होते हैं, ठीक है, वो प्रोसेस है, वी कांट डू एनीथिंग।
Nice. So it's a 50-year-old business. Have you ever thought about going public कि IPO करे इसका?
दैट इज अ टारगेट, 2026 का ऐसे टारगेट है मेरा। एक एक्स सेल्स जनरेट हो जाएगी 2026, आई कंप्लीट 30 years विद सर्वोत्तम पॉलीमर्स, सो दैट इज देयर इन द टारगेट। लेट्स सी हाउ इट हैपेंस, अभी आई कैन नॉट कमेंट नाउ।
It will, it will.
लेट्स सी,
Hoping for the
लेट्स
best.
सी।
So you mentioned IPO, right? And I'm really hoping एक दिन आपका IPO आ जाए. But there are a lot of new startups.
I will ask you to look after my IPO process.
Oh, I would love to. So there are a lot of new startups getting IPOs. You see Zomato, Nykaa, Paytm. There are also a lot of traditional companies doing IPOs via the SME route now. What are your views on startups? Because this is a family business of 50 years, a traditional business, conservatively grown year on year. How do you look at startups?
स्टार्टअप्स के अंदर में देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स। स्टार्टअप्स का सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है कि एज यू नो दैट स्टार्टअप्स परसेंटेज ऑफ सक्सेस इज वेरी लो, और उनको बैकिंग कैसे मिल रही है, क्या मिल रही है, अनलेस एंड अनटिल स्टार्टअप के अंदर में कोई ऐसा कुछ स्पार्क या कुछ डिफरेंट होगा तो ही वो चलेगा, नहीं तो नहीं चलता है। अगर स्टार्टअप ने आके बोला कि मैं भी आपकी तरह प्लास्टिक यूनिट लगा रहा हूँ, कुछ चला रहा हूँ, 10 में से वापस एक ही पास होगा, 9 फेल हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस हैं। यू डू नॉट नो आज कोई चीज में आप इन्वेस्ट करते हो आपको कब उसका रिजल्ट आएगा। इन्वेस्टमेंट्स आर वेरी ह्यूज, प्लस आपको रिकवरीज, रिटर्न्स आपको ग्रेजुअली मिलेगा, धीरे 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 धीरे, तो इट्स नॉट वेरी इजी।
So, if we look at the startups, right, they are taking money from the VCs to grow. There's a concept of growth at any cost versus being profitable and actually running a business.
So this is what is happening now in our industry, plastic industry. There are 2 or 3 people. What they are doing is they are taking over existing running companies straight away. They are buying it out at the prices whatever they feel is good. Now what these people do is उनको एक ही टारगेट है, उनको सेल्स नंबर चाहिए, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी हो रही है नहीं हो रही है, दे आर नॉट कंसर्न। सो व्हाट दे डू इज दे स्ट्रेट अवे जस्ट गो बाय द कंपनी। कंपनी जो चला रहे हैं उन्हीं को चलाने को इनिशियली रख रहे हैं, और वो कंट्रोल उनका है। वो एक ही चीज बोल रहे हैं, मुझे नंबर्स चाहिए, क्योंकि उनको वापस ये कंपनीज को बेच के निकलना है। तो ये प्रोसेस अभी बहुत चल रहा है, एंड 1 or 2 कंपनीज अप्रोच्ड मी आल्सो कि भाई इफ यू वांट टू इंटेंड टू डू एन अलायंस ऑफ दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग यू कैन गो अहेड, बट वी रिफ्यूज कि वी डोंट इंटेंड टू, बिकॉज ये सब पूरा जो ये कॉस्मेटिक रेंज जो आप देख रहे हो ये पूरा पैशन है। मतलब ये ऐसे इतनी पूरी रेंज खड़ी नहीं होती है। माय ब्रदर सर्वोत्तम इज पैशनेट एंड सो मच एंग्रॉस्ड इन डिजाइनिंग कि मुझे ये तरह का डिजाइन बनाना है, इस तरीके से करना है. दिस ऑल कॉस्मेटिक सेक्शन एंड एवरीथिंग इज बीन डिजाइन्ड बाय हिम. एंड फॉर दैट रीजन एक अलग सेगमेंट खड़ा हो गया हमारा, जो हमारा एक कॉस्मेटिक सेक्शन नहीं था. सो इट इज गेटिंग डेवलप दैट वे. तो इट्स नॉट इजी फॉर न्यू पीपल टू एंटर इन सो वेल, क्योंकि इसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट बहुत है. इट इज नॉट दैट कि भाई आपने एक चीज लगा दी, चालू कर दी, बेचना शुरू कर दिया. ऐसा नहीं होता है.
So it's not like even if you get VC money, you'll be able to do it
तो
properly.
वीसी मनी के अंदर में ऐसा है कि वो पावर तो डेफिनेटली आता है वीसी मनी का, बट अल्टीमेटली वही है कि जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि देर आर, मतलब जो फ्यू शार्क्स जैसे हैं जिसके अंदर में वो लोग पैसा इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, चीज उठाते हैं, और उनको नंबर से मतलब है, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी से मतलब नहीं है. तो ये कंपनीज क्या होती है कि ये दिस कंपनीज आर अ थ्रेट एज अ कंपटीशन टू अस, बिकॉज उनको प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी से मतलब ही नहीं है. वो बोलते हैं पहला 2-3 साल बर्न करो, कोई तकलीफ नहीं है. अब उनसे साथ हम कॉम्पीट नहीं कर सकते हैं. कस्टमर को तो बेनिफिट हो गया, उसको 3 साल के लिए मिल गया कस्टमर सप्लायर जो बर्न करके भी देने को तैयार है. 3 साल के बाद में दूसरा कोई मिल जाएगा कस्टमर को, तो कस्टमर इज ऑलवेज गेटिंग अ बेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ इट. It's the manufacturers like us or something where we cannot match those people.
So how do you think you will tackle this? Because multiple new startups will come.
See, we will again we will tackle those people with only one thing: quality. जो आपको क्वांटिटी देगा ना, वो क्वालिटी नहीं देगा. हम क्वालिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, इनोवेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, न्यू कलर्स की बात कर रहे हैं. हम उनको कस्टमर को 1-to-1 अवेलेबल है फॉर देयर रिक्वायरमेंट्स. वी ourselves are also available for them. बट ये टाइप की लेवल की कंपनीज के अंदर में यू कैन नॉट एक्सपेक्ट दैट द ओनर एंड एवरीबॉडी इज अटेंडिंग देम. Here we are ready to attend them. We participate every year in 2 exhibitions, 3 exhibitions. We make ourselves available at the exhibition time where we can attend all our customers in whatever way. Plus our marketing team also is there. So this is the way how we are coping up, by trying to board new people, new requirements, and this is the way how it is going on.
Yeah. So you mentioned exhibitions, right? I'm sure a lot of international clients might also be coming. What are some new trends that you are seeing in plastic industry? Like upcoming, अभी क्या होगा इसमें?
अभी सस्टेनेबिलिटी तो एक टॉपिक है बहुत बड़ा, जिसके अंदर में एवरीबडी हु इज नॉट नोइंग एनी सब्जेक्ट आल्सो दे विल, सर सस्टेनेबिलिटी है ना. तो बस सस्टेनेबिलिटी में ऐसा है कि राइट नाउ इंडिया इज वर्किंग ऑन द रिसाइकल मॉडल, जहाँ पे रिसाइकलिंग करके रॉ मटेरियल्स आने शुरू हो गए हैं. जैसे पेट वगैरह मटेरियल के अंदर में रिसाइकल्ड 100% मटेरियल भी आने शुरू हो गए हैं, जिसके अंदर में आप अगर आज बिस्लरी की पानी की बोतल पी रहे हो और वो पानी की बोतल आप जो फेंक कर रहे हो, वापस रिसाइकल होके, क्लीन होके, पूरा क्रिस्टलाइजेशन होके वो मटेरियल वापस प्रोसेस करने के लिए वापस आ जाता है. एंड डू यू नो, उल्टा रिसाइकल मटेरियल इज 15% एक्सपेंसिव देन द रेगुलर मटेरियल, क्योंकि उसको पूरा एक क्लीनिंग प्रोसेस और वो सब करने के लिए जो प्रोसेस में आते हैं, उसके आपका 15% कॉस्ट बढ़ जाती है. तो राइट नाउ इट इज ऑन अ हायर साइड. तो वी आर सम कस्टमर्स थे, हमको 100% पीसीआर चाहिए. पीसीआर इज बेसिकली और रिसाइकल मटेरियल का शॉर्ट फॉर्म है. तो हम लोग उनको 100% पीसीआर भी दे रहे हैं.
तो फिर तो मैन्युफैक्चरर के पास कोई इंसेंटिव ही नहीं है अगर देखा जाए रिसाइकलिंग को ज्यादा प्रमोट करने. अगर 15% एक्सपेंसिव है, बट ये कम होगा ओवर द टाइम.
ओवर टाइम कम होगा. प्लस दूसरा चीज कैसा है ना, ऑल द कंपनीज आर, मतलब उनको भी प्रेशर है, मतलब गवर्नमेंट बॉडी से भी, प्लस अपना ह्यूमन इसके हिसाब से भी, कि भाई आपको एक प्लास्टिक कंजम्पशन कम करना है. तो वो कम करने के हिसाब से उनको वो चीज कम करनी ही पड़ेगी. सो बाय मींस गवर्नमेंट हैज गिवन अस अ टारगेट कि आपको इतना परसेंटेज ऑफ रिसाइकल्ड मटेरियल आपको यूज करना है ओवर द नेक्स्ट नंबर ऑफ इयर्स.
सो रिसाइकलिंग आई फील अभी भी थोड़ा अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड है.
इट इज.
How can we do better, मतलब which is beneficial to you manufacturers basically, क्या होना चाहिए?
अभी हम लोग कैसा कर रहे हैं कि लाइक रिसाइकल के अंदर में अभी हमारे जैसे मशीनरी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से करो, तो वी हैव आल्सो नाउ गेटिंग डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ मशीन्स वेयर एवरी बॉटल और एवरी प्रोडक्ट व्हाट वी आर मेकिंग, उसके अंदर में लेयर्स होते हैं. तो लेयर 1 they are saying okay, I'll give you fresh material. Layer 2 I'll give you regrind and process material. Layer 3 fresh material. So there's a sandwich wall in my bottle. So where the inside layer is fresh material, beach ka layer is your sandwich material, and the third layer is your fresh material again. तो आजकल ये सब कॉन्सेप्ट चल रहे हैं. We have also started ordering those type of machines now. So where we can use the PCR material as per the requirement by the customer. There are many companies who have achieved that percentage of this thing percentage. Like if you are using 100 kg of material, so currently it is 30 kg you have to use PCR as per the norms of the government. ग्रेजुअली 30 का नेक्स्ट ईयर विल बिकम 40, उसके बाद में होगा 50. तो ये लोग सब कस्टमर कंपनीज जो है वो लोग वो लाइन के ऊपर वर्क करके आगे बढ़ रहे हैं.
So these days, as you rightly mentioned, सब हर कोई पूछता है sustainability, हम ये नहीं use करेंगे, but how much of it is practical?
Now you tell me one thing. बिस्लरी का पानी का बॉटल तुम ऐसे ही रोड पे खड़े होके बोलो पानी चाहिए, पानी पीना है. बिस्लरी का बॉटल लिया, पीने को ले लिया, आपने पानी पिया, बॉटल फेंक दी, गया उधर. आई वेंट टू तिरुपति. तिरुपति के अंदर दे आर गिविंग ग्लास का बॉटल. ठीक है. नाउ यू टेल मी, यू आर ट्रैवलिंग इन अ ट्रेन. Are you going to put a glass का bottle in your bag and travel? You can't travel. You have to go for a plastic bottle. Copper की bottle लोगे इतनी heavy हो जाएगी. Plus, now you see the difference, price difference. A common man cannot buy it. आज 20 rupees के अंदर we are giving a fridge bottle. 20-21 rupees में. Made from the best of the machines. ठीक है. Now will you tell me one thing? Are you going to put a copper का bottle of 1,000-1,200 rupees in your bag? A common man cannot buy it. So what will happen? रिसाइकल ठीक है, वो सब बराबर है. इट इज बेसिकली द पीपल आर नॉट अवेयर कि इसको यूज कैसे करना है, उसको डिस्पोज ऑफ कैसे करना है, कैसे हटाना है. हाँ, डेफिनेटली जो फिल्म वाली बैग्स होती हैं, जो पतली बैग्स होती हैं, जो वेजिटेबल वेंडर्स आपको फॉर द वेजिटेबल्स व्हाट दे गिव, व्हिच इज वेरी थिन, इट कैन नॉट बी प्रोसेस्ड सो फास्ट. रैक पिकर भी जब पिक करता है तो उसको एक दिन भर का वेज कलेक्शन में भी उसको पूरा रिकवर नहीं होता है. अगर 100 बॉटल पिकअप कर लेगा रोड से तो उसको एक मिनिमम वेज उसका निकल जाता है दिन का.
तो आपने मेंशन किया वेजिटेबल बैग्स एंड ऑल, ऐसे कौन से प्रोडक्ट्स है जिसमें प्लास्टिक है बट एंड कंज्यूमर को पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि ये प्लास्टिक है? इट्स ऑलवेज अंडर द गार्ब ऑफ सम अदर मटेरियल.
सर टेल मी वन थिंग, आप टूथब्रश सुबह ब्रश करती हो, प्लास्टिक है. टूथब्रश का जो पेस्ट है वो पेस्ट एक प्लास्टिक के ट्यूब में आ रहा है विद अ प्लास्टिक कैप. कैन यू हैव अ मेटल का कैप? यू कांट. ब्रश, कैन यू हैव अ ब्रश? पहले बीच में भी वुडन ब्रशेस चालू हुई थी. अब वुडन ब्रशेस लॉन्गेविटी के हिसाब से उसमें फंगस लग जाता है. यू कांट यूज इट. यू नीड अ प्लास्टिक. You go into a bathroom, there's a bucket. Can you have a steel bucket? Can you have a copper bucket? You can't have it now. So it is not possible. You cannot eliminate plastic. You have to use plastic nicely, diligently. You have to see that how well you can uh, dispose it once the usage of that product is over. That way you do it. You cannot eliminate plastic. There is now these plastic bags have started coming in your biodegradable. Biodegradable is right, but you have to understand वो biodegrade it will happen in how many years. आज अगर 100 साल में 200 साल में वो बायोडिग्रेड होएगा तो क्या लेवल पे होएगा, गॉड नोस.
Interesting. So let's talk about investing in startups a bit. So if there is any, startup that is working on solving some of these problems, do you think you'll invest in it?
Maybe, because we keep on developing many of our things internally. Yesterday only one particular project had come, so we were discussing. So I found that this is very interesting, we should invest something in this. Instead of going for the regular ones, go in these odd ones. And I personally believe that difficult items which is not possible, let's do that. Routine activities, everybody is doing it. So that excites.
Okay. You've had a career spanning last 30 years. Tell us something about, your insights about building a business in India.
You should get opportunity when you're starting a business. I got the benefit that I got a one stage platform from my daddy. So I did not have to go to the ground level of working for developing of a factory and all that. So I already got a 0+1 level. One level I got it from my daddy. So that was one part where I could just put my step in. I had to escalate that to a little level up.
Yeah.
So there I got a chance okay, fine. From level 1, I was in a position to take it to level 3, 4, 5, whatever it could be. So there we started with that thing. Then gradually we enhanced our business activities and accordingly. And gradually from 7 machines, today we are at 101 machines. So It took almost like 30 years to come to this level. And inspiring is always, basically, inspire is not only one person, it is always through different people. It also, definitely, daddy has been a good source of information and knowledge sharing and understanding. Apart from that, it is also the workers who are working with you, they are also inspiring you. It is the customers who teach you ki, how they want, what they want. So that keeps on adding a little thing. It is from the external places also ki, bhai, okay, how it should be done. And you learn grooming a lot of things with your friends, your colleagues, where you just literally learn each and every day to day, not being a businessman or something, just to understand how you should, what are the protocols, what is the way you should really act on a particular activity if it comes to you. So this is the way how it is, basically, like it's not one person who's inspiring, it is like many of them. There are a lot of things which I have actually speaking, means this, people tell me that this is, you have inherited from your grandfather or something, these qualities. So this, now my grandfather has not come to the day-to-day activity, but this is a quality which has been inherited by me watching him how he used to do it, some activity. So this is the way how it is like.
If you would have not joined the family business, do you think you could have done something else? What was your interest?
I think I could have been an architect.
Oh.
That I could have been, because that is what I'm doing right now. I'm constructing my factory, I'm developing spaces, I'm doing automation, I'm doing a lot of other activities in the business. So that all is basically more into architecture and all that.
Yeah.
And I like to use my resources to the 100% level. I don't want to waste any of my resources, any of my products. If it is not used over here, we'll use it somewhere else. We'll try to accommodate something. I always have an accommodation thing to be done.
Yeah. So your dad started the business in 1971, took it from 0 to 1. You joined in 93, took it from 1 to where is it today? What were your
No,
learnings?
I was not the alone one, because there's a lot of contribution of Sarvottam also. Because he came in with the insight that we have to do marketing. He came up with that no, we do not have to depend on only one customer. Because I was dependent on one customer till 93 till 2013, which gradually we just worked out, Sarvottam worked out, and it came out that well, that today we are not dependent on one customer. We have got a different variety of customers, different percentage at which each customer is doing business with us, or we are doing business with them. Sarvottam ka role also is a big one, where he has taken the marketing sales to that level. I was basically running the show of the existing business, whichever was coming in. So that's the difference. So he scaled up, you can say, I would say that if I scaled up from 1 to 5, he has scaled up from 5 to 20 maybe. Yeah. That way.
It's a family
it's a family business. So it's not that who has done more and who has done less, but it is a collective effort somewhere or the other. Sometimes someone is playing more, someone sometimes is like plus or minus. That's the way it is.
So you are a seasoned entrepreneur. 30 years is a big deal. Like where, people are tired of their 2, 3, 5 years careers. Doing something straight for 30 years is a big thing.
No, but every day there is something new activity which is going on. It's not that 30 years ke andar mein you are doing the same activity. Every day when you come to the office or you go to the factory, there is something new which is awaiting for you. So every day there is something which is new which we have to work on. We have to deliver, we have to close it. When you go to your factory or when you go to your office, you are basically a teacher. The students come and ask you what is supposed to be done. You just deliver, okay, you have to do this. You cannot be blank and say that I don't have an answer. If you don't have an answer, you'll say this, I'll give me some time, I'll reply to you. But then you have to give some answer to it.
Yeah. So what
So it's still not boring for me.
That's the best part.
So it's still not boring for me. It's every day is a new day. Every day is something. Every day something or the other. Okay, आज ये करना है, आज वो करना है, आज ये करना है, आज वो करना है. एक माइंड में लिस्ट लेके चलते हैं. ये कंप्लीट करना है. ये कंप्लीट करना है.
So if you had to give one advice to young entrepreneurs starting out, what would it be?
मैं यंग एंटरप्राइज के अलावा सबको एक ही चीज बोलता हूँ, थोड़ा लेट गो करना सीखो. लर्न टू डू गिव लेट गो करो कोई चीजों को. एक चीज को पकड़ के मत बैठो. और चीज़ें आती जाएगी, करते जाओ, काम करोगे, गलती भी होगी, 100% गलती होगी। यू कैन नॉट से दैट कि गलती नहीं होगी, नहीं हो सकता है ऐसा। बट अगर एक्सेप्ट करके आप उसको आगे बढ़ते हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। बट एक्सेप्ट नहीं करोगे और उसको आर्ग्यूमेंट करते रहोगे तो प्रॉब्लम है। तो लेट गो करना सीखो इज द माई, मैं सबको बोलता हूँ, मीन्स एवरीबडी आई से दैट कि लेट गो करो। चीज़ों को इतना, हर चीज़ को पकड़ के मत बैठो और हर चीज़ को माइंड में मत लेके बैठो, क्योंकि माइंड में लेके बैठोगे तुम काम नहीं कर पाओगे, वो ही माइंड में घूमता रहेगा, घूमता रहेगा। तो जस्ट डू द, आप वर्क डिलीजेंटली करो, पैसा भी आएगा, इज्जत भी आएगी, काम भी होएगा, ऐसा नहीं है नहीं होएगा, सब आएगा। बट डोंट फोकस कि भाई मुझे ये करना है, ये करना है, पैसे के लिए करना है। पैसा पैसा अपने आप आएगा, वो काम अच्छे से करो बस।
Interesting. So, with that, we end the podcast. Thank you so much. Amazing insights on the plastic industry. I've definitely learned a lot, and I hope our viewers have also learned something out of this. Thank you. Thank you for taking out time today.
Thank you. And this is available either in the pump, flip tops, and dispensers. These are some cream jars which are basically used for all your creams, lotions. This is an in-label molding concepts what we have shown over here, whereby you cannot remove the labels and it gets stuck up in a single stage. And these are some frosted options where the bottles are frosted and it goes for the premium sections. These are few of our esteemed customers who have whom we are supplying with different options and different labeling options done on the bottles for their packaging. These are PET bottles where like for your lotion, for your shampoos and all that, with different options as an applicator for flip tops, dispenser pumps, mist sprays. It can be used for any of the cosmetic packaging. These are some exclusive displays where the customer can experience the labeling options available with us, and they can pack their products according to the designs which has been there over here. And these are the dispenser pumps what we are manufacturing in-house. This earlier we used to import from China. Now we are manufacturing ourselves.